All right. Day two, I was excited about yesterday's practice. Of course, day one, you're always excited, but even more excited about today. You know, one thing that we're really concentrating on, y'all probably seen it with shirts and stuff like that, is going 1-0 and being more process oriented and talking about what's next, like getting to the next play. We talk every day. Our position coaches, before the players come out on practice, they give a 1%, you know, like what they're trying to get better at. So today you're going to concentrate on this. Mine was, you know, effort, you know, just not the entire practice, but finding a way to give one more rep. I thought we did. We had great energy. You could tell this team likes to practice and loves football, and we're getting some really good reps. I was really happy about today. So with that, open up with any questions.
Coach, I saw that David Carter was in a boot.
Yeah.
And then Rodriguez left in calisthenics. I'm just wondering, some of the other guys you need to step up on the offensive line and fill some of those roles with Sterling being out.
So Davion rolled his ankle yesterday. We've done everything. We feel good that he'll progress back. And then Mo, he finished practice, had a little stomach issue, so he was able to finish practice. You know, guys right now, the young guys like Dylan Shaw, man, he first 2 days, again, you know, I think I said it in my opening press conference, he had a great spring. I thought he's done really well. We're really lucky with having Caleb Rogers and his versatility. You know, it shows up because he's getting right guard and some left tackle. I'm excited about, you know, Dalton Merriman, because right now with Sterling out, he's playing left tackle, and I thought he's done a great job. You know, we talk about all the time, you know, about opportunity, and whenever something happens to somebody else, it's your opportunity to step up. You know, one of the greatest players of all time is one of the greatest players of all time because he got the opportunity to play. And I think, what is it, Willie Pip or whoever, whatever, I don't even know his name. There's a reason that nobody knows his name, you know. And so it's exciting. That's the thing that I'm hoping that we keep talking about, is the depth of this team, of guys being able to step in and get really, really good reps.
Coach, how have you felt about the secondary so far early in camp? I know you talked about all those battles that were going on a couple days ago, but I guess any highlights from the last couple days?
Yeah, man, I feel good. I went back last night and watched the first day of practice. Kind of like when Kenny said he's mental, when Coach Perry said he's mental, I'm kind of mental too. Sometimes the glutton for punishment, but I also want to learn from the past, and that's the one thing. You know, I've said it, I think our offensive skill is so much better, man. There's some catches out there that these guys are making. You know, Josh Kelly had a huge catch. Baron Morton fitted in a window. BJ Jordan had great coverage on him, but, you know, he made a huge catch on the sideline. CD, I think y'all saw it on video yesterday. He made a one-handed catch. Braylon Lux is right there with him. And so the things that we're seeing in the secondary is we're either making plays or we're right there to make the play. Like, we're so much closer than what we were in the past. Guys that jump out after the first two practices are Chapman Lewis at free safety, and then the two stars, BJ Jordan and AJ McCarty. They've really jumped out, not just in coverage, but you know, we want to be so much better than we have been in the past in our screen game. And when you're getting at, your stars got to set edges and trigger, and they've done a really good job of being physical. Those two guys have really, you know, stood out there, and then Chappie at free safety.
Chapman has, I mean, he was the number 2 guy basically from the first day of spring last year, right?
Yes.
And number 2 pretty much all season behind Rabbit. And you said the other day, you think the battle at that spot is for number 2 because you think he's pretty much a clear-cut guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's no doubt.
What is the reason, what is it about him that's allowed him to come in and immediately be such a guy not only in the depth chart, but a guy that's really counting on?
Yeah, a couple of things. I love that question because, man, I just love his approach to everything. One, You go back, last year he was a mid-year freshman, so he was able to go through the whole spring, so that gave him a chance to play in the fall. He loves football. He's a very physical kid. He will become even more and more physical the bigger he gets. You know, I think he's like 185 right now. I feel sorry for people whenever he gets to 190 something and 200 because he's a big contact guy. And then he's got a really high football IQ. You know, he's a guy that you go in a meeting room and you feel really good that he picks stuff up. And you know, I think a little bit different but similar is like he knows he's the guy. Like Barron, like when you know you're the guy, there's a different confidence that comes with going out there and playing. And so it's been fun to watch him the last 2 days.
What about, speaking of the weight thing, the size thing with him, he's naturally slender.
Yeah.
How have y'all approached putting weight on him?
Yeah, that's you know, that's one of the tells because he's a slender guy and he's also got, you know, really high metabolism. You know, Hannah and Gentry, Hannah is our dietitian, Gentry's an assistant. I think they're the best in the country, and so they're with him, you know, making sure he's getting a shake after practice. You know, it's calorie intake with him right now. He's so young. We want him to eat right, but it's right now with him calorie intake, because when you're right now going through camp, it's not necessarily him gaining to get to 190, but him maintaining 185. You know, with being the heat and the amount of upload whenever it comes to how much we're practicing and everything like that. But you know, he's serious about it. It's important that he's serious about it because he's a guy that can really help us win games with the style of his play.
And in what ways would you say he is similar to Rabbit, and in what ways is he different from Rabbit?
I think things that he's similar, both of those guys, you know, two things: they love football and they have a high football IQ. Like, I do think that Rabbit is the reason that Chapman, Lewis, and B.J. Jordan and Jordan Sanford are able to play last year and are playing right now, because I mean, he really took them under his wing and worked with them. But where they're similar is they have a high football IQ. They're both really fast. Both of them can cover a lot of ground. The difference is, you know, Chapman's over 6 foot. You know, he's probably pushing 6'1". You know, maybe even a little taller, where Rabbit's like 5'10". So I think the length that Chapman has can really help him without, you know, the experience that he doesn't have, where Rabbit had the experience. I think the length of Chapman's going to help him a lot.
You talked about Micah and Josh and the catches they're making. Who are some of the younger players that you've seen step up to help provide that to you that you need?
Yeah, Kelby Baslin had the last 2 days. You know, we have 2 practices going on. So we have a red practice and a black practice going on. And yesterday he was on the black field, which is our younger field, and we brought him over to the red field today because of the practice he had yesterday. And so really excited about Kelby. That last rotation, we went just mixed down. So your first and second down calls were our last period. And we had TJ West over there getting some outside receivers. So those 2 guys, you know, are really excited how they're coming along.
Got time for about 2 or 3 more.
As you yesterday talked about figuring out who's going to be the backup to Taj, how's that battle going?
Man, it's going good, man. They both, like, I think they're pushing each other. They both did some great things today. I think Cam Valdez, you know, had some really good runs. I love Cam, man. Like yesterday, he and I were walking to dinner, and he goes, "Coach, what's my 1% from you?" And so, you know, I was talking about, you know, being big in pass pro right now because we can't cut each other and we're not in a scrimmage situation. So him being bigger in pass pro and more physical. But I love that he's asking those questions. And then Cam Dickey, man, he's just one of those guys that checks all the boxes and loves playing the game. And both of them had really, really good days today. You know, there was different times we actually had both of those guys running with the ones, you know, and Taj some with the 2s, just to get those guys some extra reps.
Piggybacking off that, is Jacoby expected to get any kind of carries as a true freshman this year?
It'd be interesting, man. He had a really good day yesterday. I'm anxious to watch film because he did fumble the ball, so of course, we talked about that. And what I try to do is I try to sit in different guys' meetings. Like day one, when we reported, I sat in the tight end meeting. Yesterday, I sit in the O-line meeting. This morning, I sit in the running backs meeting. And, Coach Perry talked about that's one thing that we do well. So we have done a really good job of protecting the football at the running back position, and talked to him about that. It's going to be interesting, man, because that backfield's so stacked with those three guys. He right now, and Adam Hill's in that room too. I think both those guys just showing up are going to be more of special teams early.
You talked about the defensive line and how deep it is now. Who's impressed you the most, I guess, out of those guys?
Well, I'm excited because, this is the first time that I've seen James Hansen, in helmets and we're not shoulder pads tomorrow. I thought he had a good practice yesterday. I thought he had a much better practice today. DB Carroll's really coming on. I think Quincy, so the old guys are doing a good job, and the young guys, probably the most impressive the first 2 days, is Jaden Cofield.
Hey, you mentioned the other day, you said Dingo being in the yellow jersey. Is that just because y'all still an acclimation period that it's not, or?
Yeah, well, we don't consider these like, that's the all tag period.
Yeah.
So like tomorrow we'll be in shoulder pads, he'll be in a yellow jersey.
And I was gonna say, you put on shoulder pads tomorrow, full pads on.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to go, so we've changed up the camp. The reason we brought our guys in so early is we're going 3 days on, 1 day off, all the way to game week, and then we'll go into our regular game week. And so what we'll do tomorrow is go helmets and shoulder pads, and then we'll give them off. They're still meeting and recovering and doing all that stuff, but we won't be on the field. And then we'll come back, we'll do another day of helmets and shoulder pads before we get into.
It's day 5, right?
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for Coach. We'll have Bryce and Caleb up next.